Okay. I hope all are joined. Okay. Next, variable types. So what are different variable types? We understood now what is a variable. And we understand how to declare variables, how to assign the value to a variable. We have seen that. Now, what are the different type of variables we have? We have three types of variables. One is static variable, non-static variable, local variables. So what is a local variable? Let's move on to it quickly. If you declare any variable inside the method body or block body, it must be inside the method body, the declaration, and inside the block body. Then that variable is called local variable. So when you can say it's a local variable, where it has to be declared inside the method body or block body. That's why I told you, I stressed out there. Declaration. What is the declaration syntax? Data type,
Variable
name. That's the declaration. So that a declaration or assigning inside the method body or block body is there, that is called a local variable. So local variables are accessible in the same method body or block body, not outside. The reason for that is, I already told in the JVM memory explanation time. Local variables, where it will store? In the stack memory. Let me go to Java introduction. So in this stack area, the local data, see, local value, it will store in the stack memory area. The stack memory area inside, the local data will store. Any temporary data that will store in the stack memory. After method execution, okay, after method execution, the local variable data will be destroyed completely. That means, so this thread will be, every thread is one stack frame. Stack frame means one method block will execute and that local data will store there. So once this is done, this will be cleaned. This will be cleaned from the memory. That means no more data will be available in the stack area once method execution is over. If it is not there, you cannot use in another method, right? That is the main reason why you cannot use local data in another methods. It won't be available in the memory. If it is in the memory, you can use it, right? If it is not there in the memory, you cannot use. So that's the main reason why you cannot use local data in another methods outside the another method. Only in the same method only you can use. Where is the, no? See, I'm giving here very clearly the declaration where you can do, where you can access them. If you declare a local variable, where you can access them, and which memory they will store, and what is the default value for the local variables. You always need to assign a default value. You have to assign. If you are not assigning, it will throw error for you. You have to assign your own local variable value. Otherwise, you cannot use that. If you use, it will throw error. So what is the local variable syntax? Data type, variable name equal to value. So you can apply a final keyword on the local variable. This is the C local variable syntax with a assignment. With assignment. Without assignment also you can do local variables. Without assignment also you can do local variables. Data type, variable name equal to value. You can apply the final keyword on the local variables. So which modifier keyword can be used on the local variables? Only final keyword. No static, no access modifiers, nothing. Only final keyword you can apply on the local variables. This is the interview question. Which modifier keyword can be applied on the local variables? That is only final keyword. Can I use a static keyword for the local variables?
No.
No, you should not use. Can you use a public, private, protected keywords? No.
No.
Nothing is applicable for the local variables. Only either this is the syntax, or final keyword. So what is the difference between this syntax and when you make a final keyword? So final data type variable name equal to value. What is the difference between this one and this one?
Final keywords, sir.
Not that one, but what will happen if you apply final keyword? So what is this one?
Sir, for first one, data type variable name equal to value, we can change that to variable value, sir. But once we apply that final keyword, we cannot change that value, variable value.
Exactly. So whatever Kiran told, that's the 100% correct. So when you don't apply final keyword, this variable value, next line also you can change from this value to another value. But when you apply final keyword to this local variable, this is the final. You cannot change it again. If you try to modify in the next line, it will throw error for you. Final variable values cannot be modified. Final variable values cannot be modified. Okay, that's a final variable and normal variable syntax difference. See, this is the class public static void m1 static method. Inside that method, I created a local variable syntax. So int x equal to 10. So x is a local variable here. See, I declared, see data type, integer, variable name, x, assignment operator, then value is 10. Here x is the local variable and x data type is a integer and x contains a 10 value. So you see, if you remember this syntax, how easy. And now x is a local variable or a global variable?
Local variables.
Why you are
Because
saying it's a local? It's inside the method.
It is inside the method.
So declaration is done here. Declare and assigned. So that means declaration done inside the method body. You have to check that first. Okay, where is the declaration happened for this variable? Before telling any variable, first check that. Where is the declaration happened for this variable? Inside the method or outside the method? That you need to check before telling. Now, you can use x anywhere in this method only, not another method. See, long L equal to 20, another local variable. L is a local variable. Now see, L greater than x. So L greater than x, I told you the comparison operators if you use, and always you'll get a Boolean value, right? That's why. And B is another local variable. Boolean B equal to L greater than x. Now B, L, X, all these are local variables. Why? The declaration happened inside the method body. That's why. That's why they are local variables. Everybody clear here on local variables?
Yes, Ramesh.
I cannot use the M1 method local variables in the M2 method. are M2 method local variables in the M1 method. One method local variables you cannot use in another method. So that's not possible. So which method you declared, only in that method only can you see I declared here, right? That's why I'm using L and X here. One time declaration, but using the variable name, you can use n number of times in the same method. And M2, say I declared F 5.6, B1 equal to false. See, now I'm using F plus 35.5. See, F I am declared, but calling here F one more time. Just a variable name I am calling for my calculation purpose. And now I'm getting a double value. This is another local variable. B1 another local variable. F is another local variable. All are different local variables. See how I am joining here. The D value I am printing. So printing means I have to use a system.out.println. The value of D is, this is the one string plus the D, the variable name. Just a variable name I called here. Just a variable name you need to call in the print statement. I didn't keep in double quotes because this is a double type data. I want to print this D value. What is there in the D value I want to print. That's why I'm just printing that. So readable statement plus the variable name. Then close the method. So this is the every method starts with the curly bracket, end with the curly bracket, and class is closing. After all your methods, class is closing. So that's all about local variables. So any questions?
No, sir.
Are we good?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's move on to the instance variable or non-static variables. So what is instance or non-static? Non-static, it is very clearly saying non-static. That means it's not static. That means static keyword must not be present there. So that means if you declare any variable outside the method, inside a class, without static keyword, then that variable is called instance variable. So again, repeating, this is the very important definition. If you know, it is in your mind, you won't make mistakes while declaring instance variables. Even the local variables also, if you know the definition itself telling, okay, where to declare, where not to declare. See, this is very clearly saying, okay, if you declare any variable outside the method, that means method outside completely, and inside a class inside, without static keyword. That means static keyword you should not use in the variable syntax declaration. Then that variable is called instance variable or non-static variable. So non-static variables are accessible within any non-static method. So what is that? Where you can access them? Any non-static method. You declare once globally. You can use n number of non-static methods inside same variable. If you need that same variable in multiple non-static methods, you can use that same variable in multiple methods. Just a variable name you call. Declaration one time on the top, below the class, above the methods, and same variable you can use in n number of non-static methods. What about static methods? You cannot use directly. Static methods inside, you cannot use non-static variable. These are the basics important. Non-static variables are not accessible within any static method. Directly cannot call in static methods. If you call, it will throw compile time error. And also, non-static variables, you can declare without assigning a value. And there will be a default values for them. JVM will assign a default values for them. If you don't assign, JVM will give a default value for every non-static variable. What are the default values? All integers, you have 0. Floating, 0.0. Floating values, float to double. Decimal, you have a 0.0. For integers, 0. For boolean, false. For a string object, null is the default value. So all these default values will be given by JVM to non-static variables by default, even if you don't assign a value also. If you call that variable, the default values will be assigned automatically. So where these instance variables will store? In the heap memory. This is the area, in this area. But when the memory allocates, at a runtime only memory allocates when you create object for the class. If you are not creating object for the class, then no memory will be allocated for the non-static variables and non-static methods. Only memory allocates for the non-static methods and non-static variables when you create object for the class. At runtime only the object will be created. That's why we call this heap area data also called runtime data, object level data. So when you create object, that time memory allocates here for the each instance variable and each instance method. If you create one more object, again another memory occupies here for the same instance variables and instance methods. So that means each object, same instance variables will be copied. N number of objects, n number of times it will be copied. That means unique data, if you want to store, you can use a non-static variables and non-static methods. Basically, unique data, if you want to store, non-static variables you will use. So which memory they will store? Heap memory. When they will store? When you create object for the class. If you're not creating object, no memory occupied for the non-static variables in the heap area. Heap area means runtime data, that is only when you create object. If you're not creating object, no data will be stored here. Are we clear? What is the syntax? Access modifier, data type, variable name equal to value. So did I give access modifiers or not? What are the access modifiers?
Public, private, protect, and default, sir.
What are the data types?
Byte, short, int, long, char, double, float.
Not only primitive, you are telling only primitive.
String, array, enum,
Hmm.
and class.
Interface, anything is a data type. Not only, don't think it's only integer, float, boolean, character, data type. So don't think that. In our automation, you won't use a primitive data. Always you will use a non-primitive data only as a data type. Non-primitive data type is, you can write here class name also. You can write here interface name also. You can write here enum name also. You can write here in array name also. You can write here anything is a data type. That's why consider both primitive and non-primitives. Data type means not only primitive. Is it clear for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I will use in our automation, data type is only class and interfaces mostly we will use. I can write any class name as a data type. I can write any interface name as a data type. That's a thing you will see in the automation. So variable name, I told you how to give variable name, alphabet, lowercase, and value. You can assign the value. Non-static final keyword you can apply for any variable, local variable, non-static variable, and static variables. See, access modifier, final, data type, variable name equal to value. So when you assign the final keyword, the value is not changed. S4 value always Java only. That's the difference. Other than that, nothing. See, the public class where you can declare, this is the one, syntax. Always write the syntax. So until you are perfect some time, then you don't need. See, access modifier, you give whatever you want. Then data type, integer, variable name, A, and value you're assigning 20. So, comma, if you want to give same access modifier, same data type for the B variable also, you don't need to write again next line. You can put a comma and so B, just variable name and 30. So that means B has the same access modifier, B has the same data type. Only variable name changes and value changes. So A and B both are so same public and integer. Now, what is the access modifier I used here?
Default.
Default. So here, what kind of variable is this? X and str. These two, what kind of variables?
It's floating and this is the string.
No, those are not variables. Variables means always you need to don't confuse with the data types. Okay, X data type is a float. If I ask you data type, you tell float.
It's
I'm
the
asking variable types. I'm asking variable types.
Non-static variable.
Yeah,
Non-static variable. Why? Outside the methods,
The method and below the class.
without
It's without static here.
But here the access modifier here is a default. See, access modifier plus nothing is there means what? Default access. So here also access modifier plus this syntax, that's why you are not following the syntax. That's why you are not able to tell. If you follow the syntax, first this one, what is there? Okay, directly starting with the data type means the access modifier is a blank. Blank means what is that? Default. And here is the access modifier public. But here there is no access modifier means that means it is a default. String str equal to Java. Here also default and data type is a string and variable name is str and value is Java. So these are the 4 non-static variables I declared below the class, above the methods. See, method syntax also I have written. That's why write always syntaxes until you are comfortable sometime. When you are practicing, write syntaxes, variable syntax, method syntaxes you write so that you will get a perfection. See, now here people are forgetting this syntax. That's why they are not able to think, okay, what kind of variable is this? Right? So if you remember this syntax, never ever you will feel bad. And you can correctly answer that. What kind of variable is that? If you don't have a syntax in your mind, you will make mistake. Definitely you will make mistake. See that again, method inside. See, I'm following data type, variable name equal to value or expression. See, int sum. See, int means data type. That means method body inside. First check the condition for the local variable is it should be declared in the method body. So method body, first starting with the data type, then variable name is sum and expression. I'm writing expression A plus B. See, this A, B, I declared globally. I'm consuming in the method. I'm using in the method. Non-static method. Non-static variable, you can use in non-static methods. I didn't declare here in the method body, right? A and B I declared here. No, it declared outside the method. There is no static. That's why these are non-static variables. So then sum of A, B is some variable I'm printing. The local variable I'm printing. The sum is a local variable. And A and B are the outside declared. That's a non-static variables. And M4, see, float F1 equal to 3.5F plus A plus B. See, another method also I called same variables. See, one-time declaration, assignment, and consuming in multiple non-static methods. That's advantage. Every time you don't need to declare. So it saves space and time also, right? That's the. And see, I'm using in the static methods A. Can I use A in the static methods? A is a what kind of variable? instance are non-static. Can I use that in the static methods?
No.
You
No,
should
sir.
not use. You should not use. That's why I told you, read this point. Non-static variables are not accessible within any static methods. So this is wrong. Static method inside you are calling non-static variable. It is not accessible. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to stop here. We'll finish this tomorrow and we'll go for the methods. Okay. Yeah. Any questions?